As I told you earlier, President Biden claims the U.S. supply chain is very strong. He says the administration has been able to handle a recent surge in goods moving through various ports around the country and get those goods off the docks and onto store shelves. Earlier this week, Mr. Biden even met with some of the nation's top retail CEOs to discuss how to get items off the docks and onto store shelves more quickly. Supply chain logjams over the last few months have caused shortages on items like critical tech components that have contributed to a surge in prices around the country. My next guest has felt the impact of the supply chain issues firsthand. Shalli Kumar is the chairman of AVG Advanced Technologies Group. When we talked to him back in October, he told us that he had never seen supply chain problems like what the country was experiencing at that time. He even described plants literally shutting down because they couldn't get the components they needed. He's back this morning to give us an update on and perspective given President Biden's claims. Mr. Kumar, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Terry. Good to be back with you again. And as an update, yes, the supply chain was a huge problem. It is getting better. There's no question about it, but the costs are gone through the roof. The freight costs have gone through the roof. But the supply chain is getting better. But we need to be talking about what President Trump talked this morning on Fox News. He said 4 times that Biden is destroying America, and I could not agree with you more. Why? They are engaged, that is, Biden, Schumer, Pelosi are engaged in the biggest deception of my lifetime. You know, the definition of fraud, legal definition of fraud. When you tell a lie and you know it is wrong, it's called fraud. So they have sold the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill having made in America. That is, it's a Buy American provision in it. It could not be further than the truth, and they know it because the bill has a provision in there that negates the entire Buy America provision. And, you know, the detail of that is actually on page 2314 of the bill. Nobody reads the bill. It's a 70914B-2, which allows the federal agencies to buy everything from China. So we are selling out to China. That's a long-term problem.
Mr. Kumar, let me kind of piggyback on that question then. Since the supply issues are clearing up and we are starting to get more of those components in, do you think that American manufacturers will now get a leg up and hopefully be able to market themselves even better again?
Oh, no. We have sold out manufacturing to China. There is no question about it. I'll give you another example. In the second bill, they want to go to electric SUVs, electric EVs. Who has the upper leg on EVs? China. China is the biggest on battery production. The government is going to give like a $12,500 of a rebate on any electric vehicle. And when you start seeing cars coming from China, which are going to cost after the rebate only like $15,000, what would our automotive plants will do? We have to think long term. Right now, China plays chess. We play checkers. We are just not up to the mark in competing with them. We have to think a quarter of a year. Our corporate America also thinks only quarter of a year, where China thinks quarter of a century. They devised a plan in 1999 in the next 50 years to be the world dominant economy. Their economy is projected to be $120 trillion by 2049. That is their 100th anniversary of their regime. And by that time, we will be one third the size. Our economy is going to become 40 trillion. Their economy is going to be 120 trillion. They are going to be 3 times bigger than us. They will be doing all the manufacturing. Everybody better start learning Mandarin.
Mr. Kumar, we appreciate it. We'll have to leave the conversation there, but I think it's clear there's still a lot of work left to be done on our economy. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you.